Hi and welcome to this reading. Today is another reading in the series of readings that I am doing, picking up on the collective energy of the rise of the divine feminine. I think this is maybe the 8th or the 9th reading. They are all to be found in a playlist. So if you are interested in any of the other readings, please feel free to have a look at that playlist. But today's energy, today's divine feminine energy that I'm picking up on is that of Queen Esther. Now, Queen Esther was known as the morning star. She was in service to God. She was essentially what I would call an agent of God. She was Jewish by birth, and she found out that the king at the time had somebody close to him that was planning on harming the Jewish people. And so she seized an opportunity to have the king fall in love with her so that she could set about ensuring the safety of her people. Her soul, her ego was in service to God. Now, prior to this reading, I was hearing two songs. I found God on the corner of, I can't remember the name of the street. Lost and insecure, I found you, I found you. I will list that song in the description because I receive messages through music and that song might have relevance. The other one I got was God's Plan, which is Drake, I think. Not really familiar with that song, but that song title popped into my head. Now, I've kind of gone backwards to go forwards here, and I'm not sure why. So these readings came about because I was getting messages about the rise of the divine feminine and specifically messages about the bride of Christ. Now, in different religions, in different spiritual contexts, the bride of Christ can mean many things. But for me, it's a tapping into your divine feminine energy. Currently, we have had 20 years of strong, heavy, masculine energy, out of balance masculine energy. And if you look at what's currently playing out on the world stage at the moment, heavy, heavy, heavy masculine energy. That is literally, I want to say, destroying the world or destroying the peace of the world. And as we head into the Pisces lunar node change, the north node change, it's moving from Aries to Pisces in January next year. We will see a tapping in of ourselves to our inner divine feminine. And you may have already begun that process. But Pisces is spirituality. A remarrying of yourself, the bride of Christ, a remarrying of yourself to your spiritual side, to that divine feminine side that we all, male or female, have within us. It's not gender specific. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on the energy prior to a reading and then I will come and use my cards to tap further into that energy. I have done a pre-shuffle and these cards came out, and actually a couple of letters came out as well. And I've got some other messages that are coming through, so I will go through them. But first, if you are called to any of the decks that I use on my channel, I'm an illustrator as well. So all of the tarot and oracle decks are my own designs, and the links to those can be found in the description box. So I'm going to run through the messages that I was receiving. As I said, Esther, the morning star. It's a balance between soul versus ego. In terms of Esther had to tap into her intuition to know the right time and the right plan that God had for her in order to make the king fall in love with her so that she could do something to save her people. She had to kick off. She almost had to just sit and wait until she was told. I heard the words, this and that are true. And that was when this card came out, rest, work, life balance. I got the sentence, a spiritual awakening that you go through in order to action a plan on behalf of the divine. Soul-led action was another phrase that I was hearing. So this tapping in for you of this divine feminine energy that leads you on a path that aligns with the soul contract that you have with the divine. And part of that is that your role, and I heard stealth mode, is almost to go in stealth mode, recognize the situation. Now, as I said, Esther heard or was made aware of untoward actions that were going to happen towards the Jewish people. Something potentially in your life that you've been made aware of that's potentially put you on this spiritual journey, perhaps an injustice that's happened to you maybe, or something that you've seen happening to other people, something that, as I said, Esther was made aware of and set her off on this path. So set you off on this path of, okay, what's my plan of attack? But it's the soul versus the ego. Knowing when to listen to what you think the plan should be versus listen to what your intuition, your God-led intuition is telling you to do. I heard into the lion's den. You've been put in a situation, or you are about to put yourself in a situation that puts you, or that has put you in harm's way. But intuitively, you've been guided to do it. And then the last thing I got, and I said it before, is that you're an agent for God. Now, the other thing that was coming through was Lilith. Now, Lilith, and I've got a whole playlist of Lilith readings in various signs. So find out where your Lilith is. If this reading resonates with you as you listen through, find out where your Lilith is and then maybe go back and have a look at that playlist. I will link it in the description box as well. So Lilith is a black moon Lilith. Lilith is our first wound, our first failure, our first rejection, our first fear. And maybe part of working through your divine feminine energy is working through that Lilith wound, because Lilith, she was known to be the first wife of Adam in certain religious contexts. And she wouldn't conform to Adam. She wanted to do things her way. There we go. I know it's all coming together. She wanted to do things her way. And so God booted her out of the Garden of Eden. Lilith, God, G for God and L for Lilith. God booted her out of the Garden of Eden because she wouldn't conform to God's plan. As opposed to Esther, who waited for divine timing, the perfect time. She understood the assignment, and she understood that part of that was waiting for everything to line up beautifully. It's almost like you've been planted in a situation. And as I said, you may have experienced not so nice things within it, or you may be witnessing other people potentially have the urge to follow your ego and jump forward and try and resolve the situation. But part of you tapping into your divine feminine energy is an understanding that as you tap in, and I was getting this, as you go deeper and darker into, I want to say the abyss, that's when the light comes on. I think of that, in the Nemo movie, when they're down at the bottom of the ocean and they can't see anything, and then all of a sudden that fish comes with a light on the back of its tail, the back of its head. The further you go in to tapping into your intuition, to tapping into your divine feminine, to tapping into your spiritual side, the darker you go in. And Lilith is a wound that you need to heal in this lifetime. Perhaps it's the healing of this Lilith wound that finally taps you in, and you get the go-ahead to then action this plan. The further you go in, the brighter the light. So these were the cards that came out. The Hierophant. Now the Hierophant for me in this context is God. But that particular card, so we got, actually I've just noticed, we've got 2 5s here. 5s mean change. The Hierophant is Taurus and Venus, but it can mean institutions, religious groups. It can be family constructs. You're deep in it. Whatever it is, you're deep in it. And I was getting the word whistleblower. You're deep in the depths of whatever this is. Being an agent for God. And it's almost like you haven't got you know what your mission is, but you haven't got the mission yet. Or you're in the process of getting it. And it comes to you when you tap in. The Hierophant. That's a soul contract that you have with the man upstairs in this lifetime for this particular role that you're meant to play. The Hierophant. Just like Esther had a role to play. Now, I think she was born Jewish, but she was adopted. So I think it was hidden that she was Jewish. So when she eventually married the king, I don't think he was aware. Something about this situation that you're in where you're having to keep quiet about things that you know, or about who you actually are, or about what the plan is. It's secret, it's hidden. The 5 of Swords. Now that's Venus in Aquarius. Again, a number 5. Aquarius is the rebel. And if I think about that card, somebody with Venus in Aquarius is somebody, they love a little different. Very, very independent. I think of David Bowie and Aman. Now, I don't know what their placements are, but very, very different. This and that are true. But it works. But the 5 of Swords is almost a battle that you've got going on in your mind. Actually, this morning, that's so, things happen like this. So when I walked out, I started this reading. Well, I did the pre-shuffle for all of the cards, and it was beautiful, bright, sunny. And then I got interrupted, and I had to go and do some stuff. And I came back, and it was all overcast. And then I got interrupted again, and I went back out to the kitchen. And my daughter was singing, "Should I stay or should I go?" And actually songs from that have been coming up. What is that? Stranger Things. I said to her, "Where's that from?" I knew the song, but she was singing it because I think she's watching Stranger Things. L is God. E-L. Now that's obviously, but L is God. Or another way of saying God. 2 gods here. Should I stay or should I go? Should I action the plan based on what my ego is telling me? Or should I wait for God's timing? It's a battle in your mind. And then we've got the Hermit card, which is number 9. But in this particular deck, this is my Lovebirds Tarot deck, this dragon is God. God, 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 God. If you're in service to God, as in the true God, the divine, then that's where you should be headed. That's how you tap into your divine feminine energy. But if you are in service to your ego, that means you're putting yourself before God. How interesting is that? God, 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 God. A battle in your mind. Rest, work, life balance. What I would say to you is, I'm just going to, Esther, the morning star, soul versus ego. Just reading my notes. This and that are true. You can follow one or the other. But in order to action your soul contract in this lifetime, if you are somebody who is in a position to help other people because you know that something is going to happen to them, you are aware because you've tapped into your intuition. Esther, the morning star, is tapping into your intuition. The morning star, now I think Esther actually means star, but the morning star is that star that you see, literally, it's the last star that you see before the sun comes up. It's the new dawn. And I want to say the age of Aquarius, which basically starts from the 19th of November. And the star card in the tarot is Aquarius, the morning star. Soul-led action. You're just being asked to keep tapping in. This hermit is a spiritual awakening. Keep tapping into this spiritual awakening, this spiritual essence of the divine feminine. And if you haven't begun, this is where it starts. And as I said, Lilith's coming through as well. Have a look, because Lilith is defiant. Lilith is ego. Lilith is also Aquarius. Aquarius won't be ruled either. The rebel. How interesting is that? There's something about a situation that you are in where you have actually, God has placed you in that situation because you are meant to be some sort of catalyst for change, some sort of safe passage. And it's because of your ability to be tapped in and understand the workings of God's plan. And maybe part of this reading is that things are, information is being confirmed to you. And I always say that when you are led to a reading, if you're not already subscribed, when you are led to a reading, if something pops up in your feed multiple times, it's because you're meant to watch it. There's something in it. It might just be one thing that I say. And all of my readings are timeless. So whether you stumble across this reading on the day that I load it up or in 5 years' time, I mean, at the moment, I've got readings that are coming up from readers that I've followed for years and years and years. Readings that I watched 3-4 years ago are starting to reappear, and I'm watching them now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is appearing. I'm meant to watch this now. God gives you little pieces of the puzzle. You don't know what the big picture is. You don't know what God's plan is, but you get little pieces of the puzzle. And slowly you just got to piece them together until you get to the point, like Esther did, where she saw an opportunity. And that opportunity was opened up by the divine, by God. She saw an opportunity to align herself with somebody, this king energy, because she had a bigger role to play, meaning that she became the queen. She could have been, wow, this is fantastic. Stroke my ego. I'm going to be waited on hand and foot. She wasn't doing it for that. She was doing it in service to others. She understood God's plan, even though she didn't know how it was going to be executed. And that's the energy I'm picking up on. So if this reading resonates with you, we're going to start pulling some cards. Okay, I'm going to find out where you are currently. Let's have a look. What have I got on the bottom? The Devil, Karma, the Knight of Pentacles, How funny is that? Because the Knight of Pentacles is Saturn in Capricorn. Now, the Devil was on the bottom. The Devil, which is number 15 in the tarot, is also Saturn, which is karma. So we have the Devil. I want to say you've had to align yourself with the Devil. You've had to go behind enemy lines, is what I heard. Go behind enemy lines in stealth mode to align yourself with the Devil in order to action. And Saturn in Capricorn, that's the slowest moving night. Takes a long, long, long time. Potentially where you've been for a while. And I would say to you, in some respects, you don't tap into your divine feminine energy overnight. Saturn in Capricorn, I just thought of Pluto and Aquarius, which has been the last 20-year transit. Now that Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto has been in Capricorn for the last 20 years. Heavy, heavy, unbalanced divine masculine energy. Knight of Pentacles, I said, was the slowest moving night. Heavy, heavy, heavy masculine energy. This Capricorn energy. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who's Capricorn is unbalanced or unhinged or out of balance, divine masculine. But it's something that you've been placed in. And maybe you're in there on your own, is what I just got. Maybe you're in there on your own, which is why you've got this battle in your head going on. Because you can't throw ideas off anybody. But it's about learning and understanding what it means and how to tap into that divine feminine energy. Now, I'll give you an example. You will start seeing major synchronicities. You'll be seeing numbers all the time. You'll be seeing things that you're thinking about that will just randomly pop up in your feed, and they're meant to give you the clarification that what you're intuitively thinking is correct. So, for example, I was in the car the other day. We were driving down to the Gold Coast, my daughter and I, and we were talking about Gaza in the car. Now, we were on the highway, and oftentimes on the sat-nav on the highway, all you get is the image of the lanes of the highway. But on either side, and it was, built up housing for, kilometres and kilometres, you don't get anything. You don't get any street names. You don't get anything because you're literally doing 100 kilometres on the highway. As we started talking about Gaza, on the map popped up randomly, right in the middle of nowhere, Gaza Road. For me, that's a sign from my spirit guides and from her spirit guides that we are tapped in. A sign that if you get those sorts of things happening over and over, or you'll be talking about something and then somebody walks past you and they say the word that you're talking about, or you're thinking about something and you walk past the TV and the ad says something like that, or you watch a bus go past and what's written on the side of the bus is exactly what you're thinking about. They are little ways that your guides, God, the divine, gives you intuitive nudges that you are intuitively connecting with this divine feminine energy. A bit like Esther, when an opportunity arose and she took it and she went and met the king, made her fall in love with him, and then she actioned her plan. And it's this battle between your head, your ego, and your intuition. And it might be a long journey that you've been on. 3 of Pentacles on the bottom. Let's have a look at what else. So that's Saturn in Capricorn. That was the King of Pentacles. The Death card, that's Pluto. Scorpio and Pluto. King of Pentacles wanted to come out. That's the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. King of Pentacles, Capricorn. Somebody in a powerful position that you've had to align yourself with. If you think of the king, Esther had to align herself with the king. Somebody in a powerful position that you've had to align yourself with in order to execute this change. Pluto is transformation. Two of Pentacles. Just going to move those along. That's Jupiter in Capricorn. It's a balancing act, or it's been a balancing act. Rest, work, life balance, and I got this and that are true. Soul versus ego. Should I stay or should I go? And I will tell you, it happens to me all the time. I get messages all the time, constantly. And I have to decipher between, well, is that for me individually or is that for the collective? But what I've found is that, especially when I do readings and I draw upon things that have happened now, I'm nearly 50, so I've got, 50 years worth of life experience. I will draw on something that's happened to me in the past in order to relay a message. But oftentimes, and even, in yesterday's reading or the last reading that I posted, there were things in there, lessons, Knight of Pentacles, that I'd been learning since my late teens, and information was coming out in that reading that was relevant to the reading, but I was getting big aha moments as well. Perhaps rest, work, life balance. If this has been something that you've been in for a long time, the divine is actually saying to you, to get the clarity you need to switch off. Or maybe you've been put in a position where you feel like you've been held back a bit because it's not go time. And that's frustrating you. That's your ego. It's frustrating your ego because you can't do the things you want to do. And there's a worry that something's going to happen if you don't action this plan. And what I would say to you is that, you can't change God's timing on things. Jupiter in Capricorn. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, Moon. The moon is Pisces and Neptune. The moon is the divine feminine energy, which is the energy that you need to tap into in order to get the information that you need. As I said, it needs to be dark, 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 dark for you to light this lantern, this hermit lantern, to get this spiritual enlightenment, to get the clarity. Pisces and Neptune. The moon is also a fear, though. A fear that you're not going to get it, but you will. The Knight of Wands. And it will come to you. So the Knight of Wands is fast. I think when you get this information, when you get the go, the green light, the green light. When you get the green light, how funny is that? You'll know. You won't second guess yourself. You will be. It'll come to you like a bullet and you will know exactly what you're meant to do. You won't be in your head. It's almost like this Zen-like state you'll be in. And it was interesting because I wasn't actually going to do this reading today. Sunday afternoon here, I thought, I'm going to have a little sleep. Just have a bit of a rest. But something told me to hop up. Now, had I not done that, I wouldn't have walked into the kitchen when my daughter was singing that song. Should I stay or should I go? Knight of Wands comes in and out, in and out. But this is about, you will know when it's time. Very interesting. Five of Pentacles on the bottom. Little birds in the cage. Another 5. And this little guy up here. Imagine that's God. You'll know. The door is open. You'll know. Okay, so this is where you are. Let's have a look at where you're going. in this situation, in this connecting with your divine feminine energy. Whoa. Okay. Strength. Number 8. Now, when I started this reading, I had to turn off my text messages. The Strength card is number 8. And I just had to check that I was filming. I had 88 text messages. Something significant about the 888 portal that happened this year. Now, the 888 portal, it's only a 888 portal. I think every 8 or 9 years. The last time was 2015. Perhaps you've been on this journey in stealth mode, hidden in plain sight is what I want to say, since 2015. Perhaps you've had a spiritual awakening. That's when you had your spiritual awakening, and you've been tapped into this divine feminine energy for all of this time, waiting for this green light. The Strength card, taken a lot of strength to sit and quietly wait. Again, the Strength card in this particular deck, that's God. Number 8, Leo and the Sun, waiting for this justice. That's number 11. That's Libra. We're about to have the Libra solar eclipse on the 2nd. I think it's the 30th today. Is it the 30th? I think it's the 30th today, 30th of September. Wake me up. 30 days of September. Yeah, wake me up when September ends. Justice. Where did we have? Oh, it was on the other card. The 2 birds. Look, we got them again. The Wheel of Fortune. The 2 birds. The little bird in the cage, and then the one on the outside. Now they're flying together. 2 birds. Justice. Libra solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. Cutting away, number 8, karma, cutting away the karmic ties that you've had with toxic situations from the past. Releasing toxic people from your past. Bringing light to a situation where there has been underlying deceit. You know, Queen Esther had to tell the king, and she did so once she got his favor and became his wife. She then could come forward and say, because she had his love and care, she then could come forward and actually say, hey, this is the information that I've got. These people are planning to do this to the Jewish people. She sacrificed herself. She risked her life, because he could have turned around probably and been really angry that she deceived him. But she sacrificed herself in order to give that information. And so justice prevailed. As I said, we had the Wheel of Fortune underneath. Page of Cups. The Moon in Pisces. Staying in stealth mode. The Page of Cups is also the card of the secret admirer. When you think about a secret admirer, it is somebody who holds feelings, holds information, holds communication that they want to give to somebody else, but they can't. This is Queen Esther holding information that she wants to give to the king, but she can't. There's something being held back here, but there's some sort of justice coming forward because it's divine timing. Where do we have Jupiter in Capricorn? Jupiter in Capricorn is there. So Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune. The Fortune's wheel is about to spin. The Hangman. That's the green light. Hangman is an epiphany. In the original drawing of the Hangman card, he turns himself upside down. And he's got this halo around his head. He turns himself upside down so that he gets a different perspective in this instance, it's a removing of your ego so that you get a different perspective. It's getting a spiritual perspective of what's actually going on here. And moon, because you've done it in the dark, because you've listened to your intuition, because you've tapped into that inner divine feminine energy, as you've sat waiting, that's when you get the epiphany. That's when you get the, oh, it's time to go. But it's not something you can go searching for. It's something that comes to you. Like these two letters. As I was packing away the cards, I was doing a pre-shuffle for this reading, but I was packing away the cards from yesterday's reading. I just had them sat out and I put all of the Scrabble tiles back. Now these two fell on the floor. Why did they fall on the floor? Because they're meant to. Why did I walk in the kitchen when she was singing that song? Because I was meant to. Not things that I can go looking for. They're things that come to you. And they come to you in the stillness. The hangman is stopped energy. It's Neptune. It's going down to the depths. Like I said to you, that fish in Nemo, down at the bottom of the ocean, waiting for that communication from the divine, that it's time to action this plan. King of Pentacles, action this plan. What wants to come out under there? Look, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's illumination. And we've got Judgment under that. King of Pentacles is Jupiter in Taurus. I just said it's sitting pretty, waiting. It's sitting pretty, waiting. But you will be... there will be no illusion. You will know exactly. You won't second guess yourself. King of Pentacles is solid, stable energy. Makes a decision based on, wow, based on, but in this instance, Pentacles is spiritual wealth. You might be dealing with a King of Pentacles. But this is you. This is spiritual knowledge that you've built up over time. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, spiritual knowledge you built up over time. So the Page of Pentacles is a card of student. The Page of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo. So that song just popped into my head. I was lost within the darkness until I found you. Until I found her. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look. Anything else your guides want to tell you with this little tarot deck? Yeah. Seven of Swords. Deception. This is a deception about what's going on in terms of, like I said, the king wasn't aware that there was a plan to harm the Jewish people. But he also wasn't aware that his wife, Esther, was Jewish. This and that are true. Two truths and a lie, I want to say. The Seven of Swords is the moon in Aquarius. Queen of Pentacles, which is Uranus in Virgo. The Page of Cups, it's a secret. The Tower. It's definitely a secret, but there's going to be a victory at the end of it. Now that's Jupiter and Leo. The Tower is Mars energy. Even, we've got the King and Queen of Pentacles here. Somebody that you've had to align yourself with. Maybe somebody that you've had to physically marry, or you're in a partnership with, or you're in a business agreement with, or you are in some sort of alignment, the Hierophant here, where you've had to play a role, deceptively play a role in secret in order to bring down I want to say evil plan, some sort of evil within, whatever this is, whatever this Hierophant energy is. Now, I know I said it was God, but as I said, it can be a religious group, an institution, a family group, some big sort of structural, and I want to say the word whistleblower, but your job is to bring it down or make people aware of what's actually going on underneath. The Emperor. It's an illusion. I think of the Emperor's new clothes. It's an illusion. And again, you know, in that story, the Emperor's new clothes, they were being deceptive to the Emperor. They were telling him that everything was great and that these outfits that they'd made for him were amazing. It was all a lie. There's some sort of deception here. Interesting. Okay, let's get some cards. This is my Divine Messages Oracle deck. Let's have a look at what your guides want to tell you. And I pause then. This is about you tapping into your divine feminine energy. And as I said, you can be masculine or feminine, as in it's not gender specific. We all hold divine feminine and divine masculine energy within. Perhaps you've had to sit in divine masculine energy in this particular scenario. Play the game until this plan was executed. Let's see what your guides want to tell you. But it's all about tapping into this divine feminine energy. Heavy burdens, yeah. Perhaps you've had to sit in out of balance divine masculine energy, wearing a mask for a long time, waiting for this green light. Joyous resolution. Really got that Justice here. Justice. True North. You are where you are meant to be. This is something that you have a soul contract with the man upstairs in order to cut through whatever this is. It's your role to be the catalyst for saving, for this change, for saving, I want to say for saving a group of individuals from something that they are not aware of. And the only reason you're aware of it is because you've tapped into your intuition. Remain calm at this time. That is a big wait. And when you get this green light, you will know. You will know. New beginnings on the bottom. You won't have any doubt. Let's have a look at what angel is guiding you. Number 44, that's protection. Yella here, success. I'm going to get 2. Goodness, these are jumpy. 68, happy here, healing. There will be success, there will be healing in this situation. And number 15, Hariel, morality. Number 44 is actually, well, these cards, not my particular deck, but there are decks where these cards align with, where these angels align with specific tarot cards. The High Priestess is what this particular angel aligns with. It's hidden knowledge. It's a secret, 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 secret. Those born under this angel love to travel in order to learn and will succeed in all undertakings. Their name will be famous in the pomp of glory. Already had the Six of Wands there. Success. If you think about Queen Esther, her fame came from not the fact that she was the queen, but what she was prepared to sacrifice for her people. This angel will ensure the success of useful undertaking, giving protection against armies and magistrates, enduring trials, and gives victory. What did I say? Soul guardian for those born 2:20 p.m. to 2:40 p.m. Moral guardian for those born on the 2nd of May, the 13th of July, the 23rd of December, the 23rd of September, the 4th of December, the 14th of February. That's Valentine's Day. Physical guardian for those born from the 21st to the 25th of October. Habahia, the kindest giver. That is the Nine of Cups. That's wish fulfillment. Soul guardian for those born 10:20 p.m. to 10:40 p.m. Moral guardian for those born 26th of May, the 6th of August, the 17th of October. 17th of October is the new moon in Aries this year. A new beginning, the 28th of December and the 10th of March. Physical guardian for those born the 18th to the 22nd of February. Okay, let's get you a moon oracle. What I'm getting from this reading is that you just have to keep tapping in to your divine feminine energy and you will receive all the answers that you need. Let the lunar quiz on commitment begin the first quarter moon phase. So what that's saying to me is you've got this battle going about whether to commit to your intuition or to your ego. It's part of a lesson that you are learning within this phase. And look, what I would say to you is if you get to the point where you actually are able to free people like Esther did from the clutches of whatever deception is going on, you will be able to look back and go, okay, I followed my intuition in that instance, that instance, that instance, and look where it led me. Look where it led me. New moon in Capricorn, all that hustle is finally cashing in. And on the bottom, void of course moon, brace for no outcome. Now, that is beautiful because the void of course moon, every day, every second day, I'm not sure how often the moon changes from sign to sign, but when the moon changes from one sign to another, so for example, if it's in Aquarius today and then it's moving into Pisces tomorrow, there is a point in the sky where it's left one sign, but it's not quite in the next. It's almost like 1 minute to midnight. The end of today, but it's not quite tomorrow. In terms of your spiritual journey, it's I'm getting all the information, but I'm not quite sure if it's the information I need to step forward. Void of course moon, brace for no outcome. That's a don't take action until you get this green light. Remain calm at this time. You're on the right path. Well and truly on the right path. Okay, this is my Nodes of Destiny deck. I'm just going to get one. Okay, North Node of Destiny. You're on the right path. North Node currently is in Aries. It will be in Aries, has been in Aries since midway through 2023 and stays in Aries until the beginning of January next year. So we've got a couple more months in Aries. Aries is the Emperor. Aries is Mars energy. Aries is the Tower card, which we saw. Something is going to come crashing down. Something is going to give you an opportunity to come forward with this information. But it's all part of divine timing. Your North Node is like your cosmic compass pointing you towards your life's ultimate mission. This is the role that you have in this lifetime. It's the it's the secret source that unlocks your true potential, guiding you to focus on the skills and ambitions that will lead you to your brightest future. If I think about the morning star, which is what Esther is, it's the last star before the sun comes up. Brace for no outcome. It's almost like night and day. But you've got to be tapped in. Just heard that song, Just Hold On, we're going home. Is that Justin Bieber song? Okay, let's have a look. Let's get you, this is my song deck. I just want a card that gives us any more information about this journey that you're on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. How funny is that? Best friend, Jason Chen. That song is about a guy who has to sit and watch his best friend have all these relationships with other people before he can finally come forward and actually tell her that he has feelings. Now, obviously, this is not a love reading, but Queen Esther had to sit in that relationship with the king until she could come forward. So there's components of, and as I said here with the Saturn in Capricorn, there's components of your journey where you've had to sit in situations that have been very uncomfortable, and very uncomfortable potentially for your ego, where you wanted to change the outcome, but you had to just remain calm and sit pretty. Heavy burdens. Breathe easy. Timothy James Bowen. That is a beautiful song. He's an Australian singer. Now, whenever you're lost, know that I'd find you. I'd build a boat out of branches and sail it across the blue. There's no reason for fear. It's just time and space. And it would take more than a storm in the night for what we've built to break. Okay, that when this card comes out for me, this card is a reminder for me. I can't even listen to this song. I had a friend who passed away 4 years ago who was battling cancer. This particular singer was battling cancer, very, very rare form of cancer, and is in remission, which is just beautiful. But part of that song for me, the meaning of that song when it comes out is it's a spiritual awakening. I went through a massive, huge spiritual awakening when she passed away. You've potentially, and we've got the Hermit card here, gone through some sort of spiritual awakening, which has been the catalyst or part of this journey that you have been on, which has now given you the ability to tap into this divine feminine energy, to tap into the intuition. We had the Moon card multiple, and we had the Moon card once, but we had it multiple times in terms of tapping into that intuition part of this journey. As I said, you don't wake up one morning and go, "Ooh, right, I'm 100% loaded on my divine feminine intuition." Imagine a charger. It takes time. Charge. Then you use a little bit, then you got to put it back on the charger and then charge. That's a spiritual awakening. And look at this. Northern Sky. Nick Drake. I never felt magic crazy as this. I never saw moons. Never saw moons, knew the meaning of the sea. I never held emotion in the palm of my hand or felt sweet breezes in the top of a tree, but now you're here, brighten my northern sky. That is a tapping into your intuition. That's a clearing out of your ego and a tapping into your intuition and a realization of how powerful that is to tap into your intuition. But northern sky, I think northern lights. What color are the northern lights? They're green, the green light. And that I would say to you too, I get great intuitive hits from music. Put your music on random shuffle. Find out all the different ways, divination tools, where you can, a huge big black and white butterfly just flew by, all of the different divination tools that you can use to get messages, so that when this message comes in, that God wants you to execute this plan, that he's giving you the green light to execute this plan, you know without a doubt that that message was for you, and that you can trust your instincts. Okay, let's have a look. What's under there? You have breathed new life into me. I think you've breathed new life into yourself through tapping into this divine feminine energy, but I think also you will breathe new life into new beginnings for whoever it is that you are meant to be the catalyst for change for. Whatever situation that you are shedding light on, as I said, that whistleblower energy, whatever situation that God has you as part of his army, that you are meant to lead. That you are meant to lead. Why did I say that? That you are meant to help those around you out of this deceptive situation. This is my love messages deck. Now, this is not a romantic reading. I mean, unless there's things in here that resonate with you on that level. But I'm taking these as freedom. I'm taking these as messages from your higher self. There's a freedom in releasing your ego and following your intuition. There's a freedom in recognizing your Lilith wounds. And as I said, I'll put that playlist there. In recognizing your Lilith wounds, because potentially it may be the last thing that you need to access, to release, in order for this plan to get the green light. Releasing your Lilith wound. You are the love of my life. Now, as I said, Lilith is a rebel. She doesn't want to be constrained. She doesn't want to be fenced in. She doesn't want to be told what to do. That's ego. You get the freedom when you tap into your inner divine feminine, which is a reconnecting with yourself, a loving yourself, and a reconnection with God, which is where we go back to that whole bride of Christ, a reconnecting with that divine feminine essence within you. And that's where you get your freedom. Temptation. On the bottom, that's the devil. The devil is your ego. Your ego thinking that you know all the answers. Okay, let's get you some Scrabble tiles. That's a lot of tiles. Okay, let's go. A Y and a 4. A Y and a 1. A Y and a 4. A Y and a 1. 2 Ys. Something significant about that. An R and a 1. A T and a 1. A Q and a 10. An M and a 3. That's what we were driving on when I got that Gaza message. An E and a 1. Me. As said, just sort of that Me Too movement. Maybe there's something happening in and around you in terms of some sort of yucky stuff. A Z and a 10. A V and a 4. A J and an 8. Actually, 27th of this month, the Star of Jacob. Think of J for Jacob. The Star of Jacob actually came back into alignment. So it was meant to be a star that exploded. I don't really know. A supernova that exploded when Jesus was born. It's meant to be what they think they were seeing as the Star of Bethlehem. But 2,000 years later, it's come back into... this is just information that I'm getting, whether it's true or not, but it's come back into the night sky, because obviously when a star explodes, we don't see it or the light from it until 2,000 years later. It's actually a prophecy. The Star of Jacob is a prophecy. Okay. A H and a 4. An I and a 1. A D and a 2. ID. Maybe you've had to mask who you actually are. An F and a 4, a C and a 3, a K and a 5, an N and a 1, an X and an 8, a B and a 3, a U, I knew that was going to come out, a U and a 1, a W and a 4. I, me, that's ego. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. If you need to, pause the video. If you can make some words out of those letters, you're welcome to. It could be your first, middle, last initial, or that of somebody that you are dealing with. I didn't say that in the beginning. I normally say that first. It's kind of been a bit of a higgledy-piggledy reading. Right, I'm going to get you 3 cards. And on the bottom, we've got divine timing, which is Queen Esther. Trusting your soul's divine timing because your soul is attuned to God's plan. That's the Temperance card. Okay, I'm going to get you 3 cards. If there's anything else your guides want to tell you. Oh, too many. Hang on. Okay, King of Swords, the Magician, the 8 of Cups. That's Saturn in Pisces, which is actually an alignment through this, well, through the 8-8 portal. But I think Saturn is in Pisces for a couple of months till the end of the year. Saturn in Pisces, and it's retrograde in Pisces, which means that it's a looking back. Saturn is your karmic teacher, and Pisces is spirituality. Pisces is the 12th house. 12th house is the house of spirituality, but it's also the house of, I want to say the house of freedom. Where do we have here? Freedom. I was getting that. You can take away my soul. No, you can take away my land, but you can't take away my freedom. That's a line from Braveheart. And actually, that Braveheart movie, he moved with the nobles, but he was still a clansman. Interesting. Okay, so we've got Saturn in Pisces, retrograde. It's a looking back on your spiritual journey. Potentially, your guides are saying to you that King of Swords is a truth. Uranus in Libra. And the Magician is Mercury, which is communication. But in this instance, what your guides are telling you is that you can't listen to your ego in this instance. That looking back on how far you've come, how much work that you've put in individually, and how much work you've put into this situation requires you to keep up the illusion that you are in. Because if you were to come forward, Uranus in Libra, Uranus is the card of earthquakes. It's destabilizing. If you were to come forward with this truth now, you would upset the balance. And maybe that's why we had the Hangman here, is you need to look at it from a different perspective. When your ego kicks in and you want to go, you need to look at it from a different perspective, because you will undo all the hard work that you've done. And you're nearly there. You're nearly at the finish line. The Strength on the bottom, that's God. God's plan. God giving you the strength to just what's that song? Hold on, we're going home. You just got to wait a little bit longer, because it's all part of a bigger plan. This reading was so interesting. Brace for no outcome. It's all part of a bigger plan. And when you get the green light, you will know. You won't have any doubt. Okay, that's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I've really actually enjoyed this reading. It made me think a lot. If this reading resonated with you, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified whenever I post a new reading. If you are called to any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you again in another reading.